an online platform that allows its posters to remain anonymous. 4chan has over 22 monthly users. While most posts are just random, some users find comfort in being able to share things they would never say or do in any other setting, some being dark and unsettling thoughts. Countless online mysteries, controversies, and disturbing posts have come up over the years, and while a large number of these are fake or reposts, some of the content is all too real. On Tuesday, November 4th, 2014, one of these all too real posts appeared. An anonymous user uploaded several photos to a 4chan thread. These blurred photos appeared to show the naked corpse of a woman. The first photo uploaded had the caption, "Turns out it's way harder to strangle someone to death than it looks on the movies." The second photo said, "She fought so damn hard." And the final confronting photo had captioned, "Check the news for Port Orchard, Washington in a few hours. Her son will be home from school soon. He'll find her, then call the cops. I just wanted to share the pictures before they find me. I bought a BB gun that looks realistic enough. When they come, I'll pull it and it will be suicide by cop. I understand the doubts, just check the fucking news. I have to lose my phone now." True to the poster's words, police officers were called to an apartment in the area of Port Orchard. There they found the deceased body of 30-year-old Amber Lynn Copeland, laying in her bed and covered in sheets with a pillow placed over her head. Written messages were left all over the room. Amber's driver's license was placed next to her head with the word "dead" written across it. Scrawled across a frame print hanging in the bedroom were the words, "She killed me first," and on the window blinds were the words, "Bad news." When officers removed her covering, they discovered ligature marks around her neck and bite marks on her breasts, and written on her body by the killer were words similar to those plastered around the room. Amber lived in her home with her 13-year-old son and her boyfriend David Kalac. Her son would comment later that the couple had been fighting regularly days before her death. He remembered on the 3rd of November that David had been out drinking and arrived home heavily intoxicated. As he lay in bed, he heard his mother's and David's raised voices. Amber would later come into his room, asking for a sleeping bag, which he assumed was so David could sleep on the couch. Amber's son woke up at 6 a.m. the next morning. No trace of David or his belongings were around, which was unusual, as he was usually up the same time getting ready for work. The only normal thing seemed to be that his mother's bedroom door was closed, as Amber did not have to get up till later for work. Assuming David had left the house the night before, and his mother was still asleep, Amber's son continued to get ready and left for school. But while at school, Amber's son couldn't shake the weird feeling in his stomach, couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. So he texted his mother to come get him, but there was no reply. He then texted his father Paul to pick him up, and he arrived at the school at 11:30 a.m. Paul drove his son home, stopping on the way to get him some juice, and dropped him off outside without taking him in. Inside, Amber's son had a nap and a shower, and as he walked past his mother's bedroom, he saw that her door was still closed, and then an odd stench hit him. Amber's son opened the door and found his mother covered in blankets and pillows on her bed. Her room was a mess, items thrown across the floor, and the coins from her purse emptied out. As he got closer, he saw the license that had the word "dead" written on it, atop the pillow that covered her face. Believing Amber to be passed out from drinking, her son climbed on the bed and attempted to wake her, but to no avail. Starting to panic that she wasn't waking up, he messaged his father. When Paul arrived, he removed the pillow covering Amber to discover her bruised and battered face, and realized that she had passed. After securing the scene, police would be unable to locate David or Amber's gold Ford Focus, and David quickly became the prime suspect. During the investigation, police would recover several photographs of Amber's nude corpse on David's phone, time-stamped at 1:07 a.m. and 1:09 a.m. on on November 4th. It would be revealed at 6:20 a.m. David also texted his employer to tell him he had done something bad that would make the news. After, he would text a friend around noon, telling her that he had fucked up really bad last night and would be in prison or dead by the end of the day. At 1 p.m. the same day, David was spotted by a security camera pawning a laptop for $125. Using the money from the pawned laptop, he purchased 1.7 liters of vodka and orange juice before stopping at Walmart at 2:30 p.m. Security camera footage would show him purchasing a realistic BB gun replica of a Beretta-style semi-automatic firearm. After purchasing the gun, David sat in the Walmart parking lot for 30 minutes and in this time uploaded the disturbing pictures of Amber's body, his crime, to 4chan. After posting, David would spend several hours of the evening drinking away at a local bar in Portland, Oregon. At 1 a.m. on November 5th, police would spot the gold Ford Focus and engage in a high-speed chase with David, but eventually lose him. Several hours later at 4 p.m., police would find the abandoned car in a parking lot in close proximity to where the chase had taken place. It wasn't until 8:45 p.m. on November 5th that David would reappear to authorities. He emerged from a wooded area near a transit center in Wilsonville, Oregon. He came out and willingly handed himself over to authorities. The police investigated the wooded area where David emerged and found an abandoned transient camp containing a box spring on which David had written, "Dave's Last Stand," with a black permanent marker. Resting on the box spring was the BB gun David had purchased, as well as a note reading, "I killed Amber Copeland. I strangled her with my hands, then a shoelace. I had no reason other than I was drunk and she pissed me off. Running from the cops was so fun." At his trial, David Kalac claimed he did not remember what he had done and testified that he could not deny he had killed Amber. He stated, "Based on what I've seen so far, it looks like I did it." His defense to the murder was diminished capacity, and expert Dr. David Dixon testified that he had suffered from an organic brain syndrome caused by extensive and severe alcohol use, diminishing his capacity to premeditate the murder. His attorneys argued that due to this diminished capacity, that Kalac should be charged for second-degree murder or first-degree manslaughter. In the end, the jury convicted David Kalac of all charges, including first-degree murder for strangling, and he is currently serving his 82-year jail sentence.